It is Classic Metal Show right here on the ClassicMetalShow.com. That is Rat with Shame, Shame, Shame. I want to thank Stephen Piercy for making a cameo here on the Classic Metal Show.
Right on time, as always. Only, 3 months late?
Yeah, I wasn't expecting him, but Stephen called in, obviously, and, he obviously knows the show because he he didn't hold back with any language at all.
No, he was ready for us.
But I know that Stephen listens to the show, and I know Eric Ferrantino, he is a huge hardcore fan of the show.
Yeah, he's probably got the whole subscribed and gets it downloaded every day to his phone or whatever.
Sure. So, I like those guys. Those are guys that I like as individuals as well as musicians.
Sure.
And I know you're not as big of a fan as the Smash album as I am, because I literally play that record every week.
I don't hate it.
I didn't say you didn't like it. I'm just saying you're not as big of a fan as I am.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool. You know what? I don't listen to anything during the week that I think I'm going to hear on Saturday.
Okay.
Because it just kind of then I get bored with stuff.
Right, I get you.
So and Piercy is one of those, Piercy and Doc, and I pretty much assume I'm going to hear on Saturday, so I don't listen during the week.
I think that's funny though that Steven gets hit up with the whole Rat Lives Matter thing.
Yeah, that's good.
That's funny.
I just hated it. You're asking all nice questions, and I had to come with a 1-2 of dick questions.
Well, it doesn't matter. I mean, Steven knows us.
Yeah, I know. And I just, I like Steven, so I didn't really want to ask, shitty questions. But, there are things I thought that I wanted to know.
Right.
And I guess if we're both the good guy all the time, then we sound like every other fucking shitbag show.
So I guess you're going to have to contact Sheldon and say, hey, don't expect any more Rat gigs anytime soon.
It doesn't sound like it.
It doesn't sound like it.
Well, he's got another band, so hopefully that band is a little more productive.
Sure. Now Officer Jim, he's been kind of hanging out in the background there, and I know that he doesn't get a chance to listen to a lot of these tunes. He knows them, when he recognizes them. But now Jim, you're a Rat fan, right?
Oh yeah. From high school and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, from high school.
Yeah, I mean. I don't keep up on it like you guys do, but
now you as a law enforcement individual have had a.
Why do you always bring that?
Because this is gonna play into exactly what I'm going to talk about here.
Okay.
That
makes me nervous.
Well, I'm not trying to set you up here. I'm just trying to tell you that
I'm just coming at it from a law enforcement point of view.
Well, you have had the opportunity to work some high-profile shows and be kind of like security at some concerts, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so who have you, worked security for as far as, crowd control and whatnot? And
well, I worked, let's see, Sammy Hagar.
Okay.
Kiss.
Oh, well, there's a big one.
Ozzy Osbourne, Ozfest at Blossom.
I thought you said you worked at Aerosmith one time.
Aerosmith. I worked backstage for a lot of those. Or if anybody that's been I don't know how many of your listeners have been to Blossom Music Center, but
Chris has.
Anybody that's the Pavilion.
Sure,
I worked the Pavilion all the time. So yeah, never talked to anybody, but I saw a lot of them.
Right now, didn't Steven Tyler reach out and grab your hat or something?
No, we didn't. We were wearing hats. We had a incident where there was an incident in the Pavilion where a girl said somebody pissed on her.
A girl said somebody pissed on her?
Yeah, somebody pissed on her. So
okay.
The call goes out over the radio. Somebody needs a 10, which is an assist. So went to the Pavilion. Well, it turns out it wasn't piss; it was a beer. Somebody threw a beer.
Well, wait a minute. How did she go to somebody else in the security? And
no, there's the staff security that works at Blossom.
Okay,
but then the deputies that work at Blossom are also in there all the time.
Okay. So how did they find out about this? I mean, did she go to a deputy and say, somebody pissed on me?
I don't know how that happened. I just know that it went out as one of the deputies called for a 10, which is an assist. And I went down there and we started talking to her and talking to the guys behind her. And it went from somebody pissed on me to somebody threw a beer on her. So it was like probably 5 or 6 rows from the stage, and Steven Tyler was up on stage, and you could tell he was annoyed because he didn't like our presence there.
Okay.
So he like kind of said, "What are you guys doing? You got to keep the aisle clear? Or is that what you're doing?" There just happened to be somebody in a wheelchair there too at the time that was trying to, I don't know where they were going, if they were going to a section where they were seated or whatever, but I just kind of looked up at him and just said, gave him like we got this, we'll be out of here soon. Because they really don't want you down there making, a scene or anything like that.
Right, of course.
Because they don't want it.
It's a festive atmosphere,
right.
So they don't want the heavies coming down on them.
Yeah, he actually looked right at me and he was like, "Oh, you got to keep that clear." And I was like, is he talking to me? It's like, Steven Tyler talking to me right now? Like, am I supposed to? It was weird, but yeah. I mean, I saw Ozzy. I don't know what I can say on here, but like I saw.
You could say anything.
I was backstage one time and I saw Ozzy stumble out of a trailer.
Okay.
And go into another trailer. And in about 15 minutes, he came out, and he was moving like freaking Bruce Jenner. And I don't know. I'm like, what the hell? It was like a metamorphosis.
Yeah, so basically he was like all broken down and
you know how he was like when you see him on the show. He was just like kind of like like
shuffling
along, and I was like, oh my god, how in the hell is this guy gonna go up on stage and perform? And then like 15 minutes later, he came out of the trailer.
And the vitality kicked in.
Boom, ready to go.
Really?
Boom.
Yeah, the vitality.
Boom. And we just kind of look at each other like, there you go. So, I don't know.
Now, when you worked the shows, did you actually enjoy watching any of the shows, or was it just a job to you?
You do. It depends who's playing. Like when Kiss played, that night was a debacle because I really wanted to watch them play, but unfortunately, there was a couple of I don't want to say kids, but people. Like if you've ever been to Blossom, you know that it's basically in the woods, and there's a fence that surrounds it, and these guys were trying to sneak in through the woods and hop the fence. Well, unfortunately, one of them ended up having a heart attack.
A kid?
Yeah.
How old?
I don't know how old he was.
Well, take a guess.
I'd say probably 30s.
Really? Having a heart attack?
Well, and then the two that were with him ended up coming to the fence and yelling for help because this guy had collapsed in the woods. Well, he actually ended up dying. So
on the scene?
On the scene in
really?
The woods, yeah.
Wow.
Absolutely. So I didn't get to see the concert at all because we had to secure the scene and everything else.
So when you went home to your wife or girlfriend at the time, did you go, fucking guy died and I was trying to watch Ozzy or Kiss?
Kiss.
And fucking guy, if these guys weren't trying to jump the fence, I could have watched Kiss, but instead I'm protecting a heart attack scene. What a fucking asshole. I hope he burns. Is that what you said?
Pretty close. Pretty close to that, yeah. Yeah.
It's Sammy, cold skin time again.
God, who else have I seen out there? Name a band. I mean, Jesus. I worked it for 3 years straight, and the worst concerts to work were the country concerts. Those were the worst. You had, forget the mosh pit shit and all that stuff. The country.
Well, see, Chris is a veteran of the mosh pit.
Oh,
yeah, I love it.
I fucking hate you guys. I hate you guys. Every damn. there every time you have when were you up there with the mosh pits, Chris?
At Blossom?
Yeah.
Wow, pretty much any of the mosh pits in the late 80s, early 90s. Well, early 90s especially, like I was one of the fucking crazies at it was Metallica and Danzig in 94. And they started all the blanket fires, and I was one of the crazies that was diving into the fucking fires and, caught myself on fire, just getting fucking ridiculous. So, yeah, I was every bit the problem. I can tell you all kinds of problems I've gotten into at Blossom. You might have arrested me once or twice. Never know.
That's right when I got hired, so no. But did you ever go to the Ozfest up there?
Oh yeah, sure.
Do you remember when they used to let the girls when they get their tits painted, and then they started making them wear like the little smiley face or Band-Aids over their nipples?
Yeah.
Yeah, that ruined it for me. I quit working that after that.
The Ozfest was a bunch of fucking idiots, though. Now that was
you remember the backstage thing that was up on the hill, where they had like the band that nobody knew who the hell they were?
Yeah. Yeah, I was there. Was that the year that it rained real hard? At the beginning of the day?
I worked it like from, what year is this? 2000s? I quit working that probably 7 years ago.
Okay.
So probably back around 2000, from probably 2006 through 2010. I worked that.
So that's probably right, because that was when I was doing the metal show. So that was when I was definitely there. That backstage thing, I remember the first band was Devil Driver, and it was packed because like everybody knew the guy who he was in Cold Chamber before Devil Driver, and it was packed in, and it was fucking raining and lightning, and people were moshing anyway, and it was like that hard cement with like half gravel, half cement ground that was on, and people were just getting shit beat out of them.
Oh yeah, and you got to go in and break that shit up in the mud, and then your uniform's jacked, and it's horrible. It's just horrible.
So when you were now how did you get selected, or did you volunteer, or how do you
they just say, they post it as like who wants to, they have openings for people that want to work it.
So you worked it because why? Was it extra money for you, or you actually enjoyed being out there?
Both, actually.
Okay, so you went because you thought, this is kind of cool. It's a nice extra money. 9 times out of 10, it's not a lot of problems.
No, I mean, they don't want you. They don't want you to be real hands-on there, because people are.
They
there
just want you to be a presence,
right? And I mean, you run into the idiot who's smoking pot right on. I'm sure you've been there. There's like a concrete pathway that goes all around,
right?
The
perimeter,
like the pavilion and
right.
The what do they call it? Not the yard, but the
grass,
the
lawn seating.
Yeah, lawn seating. And it's like if you're dumb enough to smoke it there, but we were just like, dude, throw it on the ground and just stomp it out. It's like, you freaking idiot. Are you kidding me? Like, probably the worst thing I ever had to do, and this is like blasphemy to me. This guy, you can't bring booze in there.
Not anymore.
What? You can't bring booze into Blossom? No way.
You can't bring your own booze in there. So I'm walking the pavilion, and I don't remember what concert it is, but this guy's got a fifth of Jack Daniels. I don't know how he got it in there. God bless him for getting it in there.
Was his name Chris?
I think it was. But this guy's chugging this bottle of Jack, and me and my partner walk up, and everybody sees us, and they're trying to warn this poor dumbass, like, dude, put it down. And I come up behind him, I tap him on the shoulder. And normally I would be pretty discreet and just be like, hey, put the bottle away. But unfortunately, one of the Blossom staff members was in the area and was watching, so I had to make this guy pour out a whole fifth of Jack Daniels on the ground.
So you made him pour it out, but you didn't.
I gave him the choice. I said, look, you can either pour it out or you got to go. So he poured it out, and I just was like, oh. I felt bad.
So do you?
Not for him. I felt bad for the Jack.
So do you confiscate the bottle and get rid of it, or what?
Yeah, yeah, we took it from him and threw it away. But yeah, it was. I mean, for the most part, you know, we're not there to ruin people's nights.
Yeah,
but,
be
I mean,
heavy-handed. You're there just
shit. You're gonna get thrown out and stuff like that. But I mean, I've caught people having sex.
Now, where would you catch them having sex?
Wait, can I answer that? You catch them in the woods behind the hill.
There you go.
Is that where you found them, though?
There you go. I've caught them on the tables underneath the upper pavilions in the back. And you kind of just hit them with the flashlight, like, you know. You don't want to be I don't want to be a jerk. I mean, I know there's other people out there that like being jerks, but I don't. It's like, you know what?
Neely, you never got a blowjob at Blossom?
No.
I don't think he's ever had a blowjob.
Well, you can get a blowjob at Blossom. You just go, you walk past.
Isn't there a booth for that?
Let me explain to people that are looking to get blown at Blossom.
There's a booth out there. It says "Get blown at Blossom."
Yeah, exactly. No, you just walk to the far end of the pavilion of the pathway up at the top of the hill, and then you take a left right when you get to the edge of the stage, and you can go back, and there's enough woods back there where you can kind of disappear for 10 minutes.
There you go.
You go right there and put your dick in her mouth. That's how it works.
That's it.
Is that where you caught them, Officer Jim?
No, it was on, Chris, on top of the hill.
Yeah.
You know where, like, they have, I don't know, what is it, like I don't know if it's a restaurant they have up there or whatever the hell that restaurant is they have up there.
Yeah.
If you go past that, you know how they have those pavilions that are just like picnic tables under covered tops back in there?
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much everywhere. I mean, I saw a guy getting a blowjob once on the middle of the lawn on a blanket. I'm not even joking. I'm dead serious. It's like
so. Were you on DNA detail? Were you having to scoop up evidence?
That's where you go into. I don't see it. I don't know. You go into Sergeant Schultz mode. Like, I'm not going to interrupt that. I mean, what? How awkward? How awkward is that going to be for me?
Were you envious?
Was I envious? I'll tell you what. You see some stuff up there where when the girls get to, I don't know what they're doing, if they're smoking, drinking, whatever, but it's like, I get off at 1:00.
Or not at all.
Or not at all, yeah. Or to quote Roadhouse, I get off at 1. I'd love to get you off. But,
right.
Yeah, I saw a lot of shit out there, but, it just like anything else, it's all what you make of it.
Did you ever get propositioned? Because they always say that, quote unquote, women love men in uniform. So did you ever get like women come up to you and say, "Oh, officer, you look so handsome in your uniform"? Anything like that? Any kind of like, come-ons?
I had a girl. Oh boy, I hope Elizabeth wants to. I hope she's not proposition, but I did have a girl once walk up to me and grab me by the crotch.
Really?
Yeah.
So she could have she could have literally risked being arrested for assault, right?
Well, yeah, actually, but she walked up to me and grabbed me, and then she read my name. She goes, "Oh, I thought you were someone else," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, all right, well."
That's when you say I can be.
Who do you want me to be?
Yeah, but that's probably the nicest thing that happened out at Boston.
The nicest thing.
Yeah. So, but yeah, those goddamn country people, man. Ugh. Those are horrible concerts out there. Those are the most fights.
Oh yeah.
In the park. Oh, have you been out there for any concerts, Chris?
The last show I was, ironically, was a country show. Was Kenny Chesney.
They're brutal. They're just
Fucking
fucking
garbage.
brutal.
Bunch of fucking redneck fucks singing about their tractor and how sexy it is. Ugh.
And I'll tell you what. You know what the worst concerts are to work as far as traffic control? I almost got ran over, actually. Saturday, Sundays, they have the opera concerts out there.
Really?
Yeah. You didn't know that?
No, I know they have the concerts. Those are the worst?
As far as traffic, yeah, you're talking 60, 70-year-old people all liquored up because that's the only time they allow you to bring in picnic baskets and wine and stuff like that.
All right.
And they don't stop. You're trying to stop them at you know the main gate there. It gets hectic. Well, try and stop a 70-year-old all liquored up on
driving a Buick.
Yeah, on Pinot Noir, driving a Buick, knuckles and thumbs in a hat. That's all you see is they're almost running you over. I'm not even kidding. We've had a few deputies almost hit by cars out there. And
awesome.
Oh yeah, it's great. Yeah, but there was a lot of it was fun out there. I miss it, but I don't.
That's funny.
Wow, who knew?
Well, I wish I'd known you guys back then, because I'm sure I would have seen Chris out there.
You probably arrested me once or twice. I've been arrested at Blossom 2 or 3 times.
Have you really?
Yeah, I got arrested once. I've told this story on the show before, but I got arrested once.
How do you get arrested at Blossom in a crowd of 20,000 people?
Because
I'll tell you the story.
Chris is an asshole. That's how.
I am an asshole, and this was 1986. I was at Peter Frampton and Stevie Nicks. I met a guy. That was back when you could bring alcohol in. Met a guy. He started feeding me drinks. Once we ran out of drinks, I started walking up the hill. I found guys that seemed to have coolers, and I just made a fist and dropped down on them and knocked them the fuck out and stole their coolers. And then ran up to the top of the hill. And after I did that 2 or 3 times, the police finally arrested me. They caught me
3 times.
Yeah, I knocked I
How
nailed
many guys did you knock out at Blossom?
Well, that happened a few times. At that, I got arrested for the one that I was telling you before for the moshing in the flames at the Metallica show. Got arrested for that, and I got into a really nasty fight at it wasn't Ozfest, it was like Mayhem Fest or something that Slipknot was playing. And I had a buddy that started this fight, and I tried to pull him out, and the guy fucking roundhoused me and hit me in the mouth, and I just went fucking nuts. And I grabbed him by his face, and I just slammed his teeth on the edge of a chair, knocked all his fucking teeth out, and he just fucking laid there, and then I got arrested because the police saw me do it. It was not good.
So you actually went to jail on that one.
No, you know what? It ended up. I mean, I got arrested, and they took me, but then I didn't end up getting charged.
Did you go up to the little wooden holding area that we had?
I was there for a little bit, but then they took me right out.
So you got summons then, right?
Everything got dropped. I did get. I mean, I was supposed to go back to court, but everything got dropped because apparently they found like pills or some shit on this guy, so. He dropped charges because he had bigger problems.
What year was this?
That was 93, maybe? No, that would have been Slipknot 98, maybe? 98, 99? It was whenever Slipknot was popular, 2000? It was one of those Mayhem Fests.
I'll have to look that one up. I'll see if there's an open case there. Might be. Probably a warrant.
It's probably a warrant for you, Chris.
Warrant for you.
Well, if there's a warrant for me, they'd have got me by now. But
yeah, but no, Blossom was it was a lot of fun. But you can't be uptight and work that place. You just got to kind of look the other way. Let people have fun.
Did you ever take the beach ball away?
No, actually, it's funny you brought that up because I like Sammy Hagar, and I know there's like a whole Sammy Hagar and. What is it? What is it? Van Hagar or whatever the hell that is.
Right.
I like it both. I like him with. God, I like him with Van Halen, and I like him by himself too.
Well, see, Chris is the Van Hagar guy, and I'm the David Lee Roth guy.
I like David Lee Roth, but man, that dude is just fucking weird, man. I tried to listen to him when he took over for Howard Stern.
Yeah.
But anyway, I worked the Sammy Hagar concert, and he broke out like all the beach balls and shit. And I gotta admit, it was kind of gay. It was kind of just gay. I lost a lot of respect for him that day. I was like, you know, he was always kind of like a hard rocker for me. I loved his music. I loved, you know, I Can't Drive 55. I love Where Eagles Fly and all that shit. And then you're at his concert and they're like throwing beach balls over the place. And it's like, yeah, I get it. It's like supposed to be.
Well, he's trying to be Jimmy Buffett.
Yeah, that's, you know, let Jimmy Buffett be Jimmy Buffett. I hate those concerts too, by the way. I do like Jimmy Buffett, but probably the worst concert I ever worked was, God, what's that? James Taylor.
James Taylor.
Fucking nap time, man. Jesus Christ. Everybody's high. I mean, the pot is just, there's like a haze over the pavilion and everything, but it was just so boring.
Did you ever work like Fish or one of those Grateful Dead offshoot bands or any of that?
Like a jam band?
No, never worked those. I did work how about
Dave Matthews? That's kind of like a jam band.
Yeah, I've worked those. Those were pretty brutal too. Pretty brutal to get through. I never worked Nickelback though. I refused to work that concert. I wouldn't work that concert. But I did work like the one concert we had where it was going to be, I think it was, I don't know if Snoop Dogg was, it was 50 Cent, Snoop Dogg, somebody else, I don't know. And we thought, oh boy, okay, you know, we're gearing up. This is going to be not one problem, nothing.
Yeah.
No.
I believe that. I've been to a bunch. I've been to a bunch of rap shows.
None.
And most people, you would think that you would have I know the most scared I ever was going to a rap show was there was a show at Gund Arena in 2000 maybe called the Icebreaker Tour, and it was Dr. Dre, Tupac, Dog Pound. It was like all those West Coast bands that were all shooting each other up. And I went to the show, and it was me and my friend Scotty, and then we were that consisted of the entire white population in the place. And it was like, oh boy, this might not be so good. No one fucked with us. Everybody was cool. And that's been, you know, I've been to a lot of rap shows. I went not too long ago, a year or two ago, to see Ice Cube, Public Enemy, De La Soul, and LL Cool J at Nautica. And if you're into the music, no one gives you any shit. It's when you start talking shit that people give you shit. Right. So as long as you just act like you belong there, nobody's going to fuck with you.
It was one of the best concerts. Not only was it a good concert to see, but it was one of the easiest ones I ever worked.
Yeah.
But then you bring a country concert in the next week, and it's mayhem.
Yeah, because that's just a bunch of
absolute shit-kicking mayhem. Like guys fighting girls in the back of pickup trucks. I mean, it's ridiculous.
That's because they're wearing their shit-kicking boots. They got to do something with them.
Well, yeah. Needless to say, I don't work Blossom anymore.
So what was the worst or most memorable incident that happened at, you know, working, say, a concert or something? You know, what stands out in your mind is something that just like this, you know.
It's not glamorous at all, but I can tell you my worst experience at Blossom was I was working. Oh God, who was it? I can't remember the band. It was like a couple of bands, but anyway, I was working the pavilion, and a girl came up to me and was trying to ask me where the bathroom was. And mid-sentence, she threw up on my boots. Like, she's in mid-sentence trying to talk, and I'm trying to decipher what she's saying. I know she's asking me for the restroom, and I start to say, "Ma'am, before I could even finish, she puked, and it went all over my boots, all over my shoes."
Nice. Now, how do you react to something like that?
Fuck. just plain old, goddamn, are you fucking kidding me? And you just take them up to the pavilion. You're like, yeah, somebody you can call to come get you. Who you here? What you try to decipher all the shit. You know, you got a cell phone, you got a wallet. Who are you? When you just, you know, you don't want, you just want to choke them out at that point. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? You just puked all over my shit. Now I gotta fucking get my boots clean. I gotta get these pants clean. That's at the cleaning bill. You know, and then everybody, you know, you're walking up there with puke on your shoes, and everybody's laughing, and they're like, oh, fucking stupid cop. It's like, you know what, you motherfuckers, I don't need this fucking shit. Fuck you. Hope y'all die in a car accident on your way home tonight. If you want to be honest. You know, tell it like it is. Fucking bunch of hillbillies, I swear to God. Yeah, puked right on my shoes. Right on my goddamn shoes. Not even missed a beat. Puked on my shoes, and then proceeded to continue to ask me where the bathroom was. It's like, yeah, so that was a memorable one.
So good.
Saw a lot of cool shit up there though too.
Well, what did you see that sticks out?
Just boot. I mean, I can't really pinpoint one. Have you never been up there during, like, what the hell was that thing? It was Ozfest, but then it was a Lollapalooza. Is that what it was?
Well, Lollapalooza did play over there.
Okay, well, I mean, my God, it was like just boob fest, everything fest. I mean, it just girls in bikinis, whatever. I mean, you saw it all.
Wow.
Look
at Officer Jim just having quite an experience out there with the concert folk.
It was a good.
Did you ever work the Lilith Fair?
The Lilith Fair?
Yeah, that chick that menstrual cycle fair out there.
Sarah McLachlan and all that other shit.
Fuck no! I did work Gwen Stefani once.
I'd like to work Gwen Stefani too.
We were in there, and I didn't know who the hell. I mean, I knew who she was, but to look at her, you know, off the stage, I wouldn't know who she was. But there was a chick rollerblading up and down the hills,
right,
on the concrete paths, and we were like, you know, I'm like, who is that? And they're like, oh no, that's Gwen Stefani. And we're like, oh,
she's
okay.
out there rollerblading.
Yeah, she was rollerblading.
Yeah.
She was rollerblading.
Was that at Buzzard Fest in '87 or '97? Because she was rollerblading that day too. I got to hang out with No Doubt when she was in No Doubt, and they played that, and she was up rollerblading.
I don't know, maybe. I just remember somebody saying that's Gwen Stefani. Let her rollerblade. I'm like, well, I wasn't going to stop her. I don't care who it was. I was just wondering who it was. So,
she's a hot little piece of ass. That's what she is.
She was very hot, very hot.
Mm-hmm. I like that one.
All right. Well, any more good stories there, Officer Jim, or you want us to play you a tune?
Oh man, I don't know. You got to play. God, what do I want to hear? Shit, I don't know.
Well, songs about puking over there.
Well, you deserve a song for puking on your shoes.
Yeah, can you believe that? How about? I don't know. How about Kiss Lick It Up?
Okay. I think we can do that. That's pretty common. But yeah, since a chick puked on your shoes, man. And by the way, Chris, I saw that you got a few likes on the YouTube for "Yeah, man."
Oh, did I?
Yes.
In what segment? Which one? I do it every segment.
What was it we were talking about? It was like one of the next to the last segments, but it says, when Chris goes, "Yeah, man."
No, I'm not going to share it now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give them none for you tonight, fuckies.
Yeah. All right. Man. Well, Officer Jim has been very entertaining, especially about the puke on the shoes.
Yeah, no kidding.
So I'm going to play a couple of tunes. We'll come back. I got a couple of stories I know that we'll all have something to chime in on here.
All right.
And I think you'll dig it. So anyway, here it is. This is for Officer Law Dog Jim. It's Kiss. Lick It Up exclusively here. What, Jim?
CMS?
No, on the Classic Metal Show.
Oh, sorry.
You got to say it with say it enthusiasm. Right
the
here.
Classic Metal Show. Lick it up, bitches.